welcome to Inner Peace Counseling Services. I'm Dr. Ann.
I'm Sherry Green.
Hi guys, it's Tasha again here.
And we have not spoken with you in over a month. So we are sorry for the delay. We've had a bunch of things going on, but we're happy to be with you today. And today we're actually going to talk about dating in our 40s or close to 40s, like we're still in our 20s. What seems to happen is we have a lot of women that we end up talking to, and this seems to be the case, that the dating behaviors of today still look like the dating behaviors of our 20s. And we just cannot date in the same way that we dated then now.
We shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't. And so in doing that, we wanted to spend a few minutes just talking about how things should be different. And so what we're seeing is that women are dating. There's an expectation that is false, or a lot of expectations that are false, such as soon as I start talking to you, I should talk to you every day. I should be texting with you every day. We should be FaceTiming every day. And then when that's not happening, people are upset. There's an expectation of jumping in too quickly, that we are, as soon as we start talking, that we're already a thing.
Attached.
And so, and I'm steady saying, but you don't know that person yet. But there's this thought, because this is what we did in our 20s. In our 20s, we met you, we started hanging out, and we were just together. And that doesn't work at this age anymore. And so a lot of people emotionally are too attached already. There's this investment, but I like him. I like what he's saying. I like what we talked about, but you still don't know if you really like this person. A few conversations and you still don't really know who they are. And so it's creating a lot of angst, a lot of depression and sadness, because all of a sudden the relationship's not going anywhere. And so we just want to kind of talk about how things sort of got here and where we are now and how it should be different.
And I think part of it goes into this nice transition into what we were talking about earlier, is developmentally. Where are you in terms of your capacity and development?
Yes.
And so not everybody is at the same place developmentally in terms of your social ability when you turn 35 plus. Your number, your chronological age might say 35 plus, but part of the reason some people are dating like they're 20 in their 30s, late 30s and early 40s are because kind of their social development got stagnated. A lot of things get in the way.
Right.
Trauma gets in the way, life gets in the way, just not having enough social experiences as you headed towards 40 gets in the way. So lots of things get in the way.
Well, you even mentioned being married.
Being married.
You've been married for 10, 15 years.
20
years, then it's going to be different,
It's
but you're
very
still
different.
stuck at what you were doing
Absolutely.
before you got married.
You head right back into where you were dating before you got married. And so that's where those unhealthy dating behaviors happen that kind of lead people to feeling sad and disappointed and discouraged.
Yeah, because your thought process is different. You know, when you're in your 20s, the biggest challenge is we are more impulsive, we're more free-spirited, we get into relationships and quickly end them, get into new relationships, end them, and we're okay. But as we get older, more mature, there's things called needs and wants and these areas of our lives that are more complex.
Yeah, you're a little bit more involved by the time you turn 40. And dating in your 20s, when you're impulsively connecting and attaching, that seems satisfactory. You're satisfied with that. You will not be satisfied with that when you're in your 40s, because it will feel hollow.
It won't pay the bills.
Right. It won't feel good. It won't feel good.
And it's too much change. Like you're back and forth, talking to this one, you're with that one, you know, so you don't want that.
Yeah, we're more tolerant of transitions the younger we are.
Yeah.
And so while we're evolving in our 20s and transitioning lots of different transitions, this seems like an acceptable thing. You're also exploring a lot more in your 20s, right? So you have less rigidity in terms of you haven't developed this idea of this is what my expectations are, because you don't know yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. I tell people in their 20s, act like dating is trying on shoes. Try on as many pairs you like.
Yes.
But that's different as you evolve, because you know what you like. Like, I don't have to be in the shoe store. I'm over 50. I don't have to be in the shoe store.
But also in your 20s, you're also learning about what you like. Because I remember dating in my 20s, and one of the gifts of dating in my 20s, one of my godmothers said to me was, because I had multiple women who considered themselves my godmother. Thank you all. I appreciate it. But all of them said, my mother didn't want that because my mother was very religious, but they said, Tasha, date as many guys as you can in your 20s.
Right.
So you know what you like.
Right. What you want, what you like, and what you don't like.
So that's acceptable in your 20s.
Yes.
To date multiple people.
Well, I think also in your 20s, we think we know it all.
Yes.
So you start to date someone because we think we know it all, and we're dating, and then we're like, yeah, I don't like this.
Right.
And so then you change
Right.
and go to something else.
Exactly.
Yes.
You're thinking you know it all.
Yeah.
But by the time you're in your 40s,
You kind of
you
know,
know a lot more.
Yeah.
You know
A
what
lot
you
more.
know, what you know.
Yeah.
And you're less tolerant of foolishness.
Well,
we should be.
Well,
Right.
we should be.
We
That's
should
part,
be.
that's part of what we're saying.
What
we're
As you
seeing.
trans-
When you're 40,
Yeah.
you should be, in terms of developmentally, if you're there, if you've learned who you are, in terms of capacity in dating. I think the most important thing I tell clients when they're dating, first of all, decide, are you dating with intention? Are you dating with the intention of developing a relationship? Or you want to play like you played when you're 20? No judgment. If that's what you need right now in your life, even at 40, you just want to play, so
That's
play.
fine.
But don't enter it playing and then have the expectations of intention from the person you're dating. So that's where there's a disconnect.
Yes.
So you're playing, or you think you're playing, and then you get in there and you're like, no, this is intention. I this is what I really wanted, right? So I think part of capacity and the maturity, emotional maturity, is knowing what you want when you enter the dating field, and also knowing who you are. So that I tell people all the time, if you don't know who you are, somebody will tell you who you are.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Well, and that will allow you not to have so much patience with people who aren't in the same space with you.
Correct.
Who don't want what you want. It's one thing to
Right.
say it, and it's another thing to back it up with a whole lot of behaviors
Absolutely.
that correspond to, yes, I want a serious relationship. So the behaviors line up to a serious relationship.
Yes.
So
So what we wanted to transition to was start the conversation of, and excuse you guys for coughing, this season of scratchy throat is in. But what's changing is the culture of today's dating is quite different than it was years ago. We have to not only evolve as we're evolving to learn about ourselves, we have to know what's happening around us. And sometimes people get discouraged. They become fearful. And when they come to us, they've tried to date and are feeling stuck and overwhelmed because they haven't really assessed the culture. They haven't researched what's happening, what the process is. Years ago, we didn't have dating apps, right?
right.
We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have DMs in your Instagram where someone could DM you. And I didn't know till my sister taught me what a DM was. Well, did he DM you?
What is
that?
that? What is it?
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you're over 40.
Yes. Did he slide in your DM? I'm sorry, I'm confused. What is sliding in my DM? Is that
sounds
a sexual
inappropriate.
term? But in actuality, is a way of texting someone secretly through their Instagram to get them a message. I didn't know that. So one day, my sisters and I were looking at my Instagram, and there was a whole bunch of messages in my DM.
Oh my! See, I thought it was some type of assault or something.
No.
What's happening?
No, folks was literally sliding in my, and I didn't know because I wasn't paying attention to all the lights and the clicks and the red dots. What is that?
Oh,
I was just scrolling along.
I'd have never seen.
So for us in our 40s, it's difficult because we have to educate ourselves about how to engage with people, how to communicate when we're trying to date again. And the big part of it is the engagement. I think Angela and I talk about it a lot, is that people engage with this idea that, oh, I like him. He likes me. We're in a relationship.
Right.
No, you're not. You're just engaging. Right? So if you're engaging, it's okay to text. It's okay to look at the person's Facebook to see what they're about. It's okay to look at their Instagram page, not be judgy, but just examine what they're interested in, what their lifestyle is like, and just get to know them and decide based on how you integrate and interact with the person, what you're learning and what they need to know about you, so you guys can build a relationship or even friendship. Because it's not every person we meet. Because I'm in a dating world right now, and I've met some great people who could be friends, right? I'm not going to just jump into something because you like me and assume that we're in a relationship. Because then I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to hurt you too.
Correct.
Because I'm going to put up these false ideas,
false expectations,
and expectations up, and then create this culture in my life of believing a story that's not true.
Correct.
So if someone is texting you a lot in the first phase of engagement, it's okay. Now we set the standards. It's been 3 months, dude. maybe it's now time for us to transition over into talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Well,
Or seeing
but
each
also
other.
sometimes it's that you're already talking on the phone, like you have each other's numbers, you are texting, you're calling, but we're not talking every day.
Exactly.
We're not communicating every day. That is okay at the beginning.
In the beginning.
I don't expect that I should hear from you every
single
morning.
day, like we're in our 20s.
But a lot of people are upset.
Right.
He hasn't texted me back.
You just
don't
met
need
him.
to talk every day.
Right.
That is not where you are in this relationship.
Because you should have first of all, ladies, guess what? We talk about this a lot as women here in this practice. You're supposed to have a life.
Yes.
Correct.
Right? If you're sitting around waiting for a man to text you, or man, you're waiting for a woman to text you to validate your life, you need to come see us so we can have a conversation about what life are you creating for yourself.
Right.
And do you know who you are, as I said, because that goes back to development and capacity. If you're waiting for someone externally to tell you you're important, you're valuable, you're desirable, if you're waiting for that,
you're in
that's
trouble.
because you don't know who you are. You're waiting for someone to tell you who you are. And that's not really a healthy place to begin the healthy stages of dating.
Right.
And so we did a whole Facebook Live on healthy stages of dating. And we were just talking about it, and they were like, do we need to look it up? I'm like, no, because I say it all day long.
She has it down.
The first stage is what Angela was talking about, that people get twisted and now think, oh, we're in a relationship because you like me and I like you. Almost like you're 20, or I go even younger with my younger clients, like you're 16. Oh, I met you in the cafeteria. You like me, and I text you, and you like me, and I like you, and I got DM'd or whatever. And all that happened. Like and now we going steady. You're my boyfriend, hands, right? We holding hands. That's not how it is. Stage one of healthy dating is just, I'm attracted to you. I found something interesting and intriguing. It's the first point of contact. You're attracted to me. It very often does happen in today's culture of dating on those dating sites. I swipe right.
Yep.
Right? And so now we're texting and we're having the beginnings of communication, but not any deep level. You're just attracted to me, and I am attracted to or intrigued by you. That's healthy dating. Stage one is we're just kicking it.
Yes.
Right?
So the first date in healthy stages shouldn't be we're sitting here spending $300 on a meal. How can we meet for coffee? Right? Can we stop at a bookstore and have conversation about what books you like to read?
Yes.
Can we do something active, like go for a walk somewhere in a park so we can have a conversation first before we jump into spending money on each other?
Well, but just deciding if I really like you.
Right.
We don't know yet. In the first month or 2 or 3. We really don't know.
90 days.
Yeah. That is why in high school dating, most relationships last about 3 months, right? And 90 days, because that's the time it takes till we really know, do we really like each other?
This person?
So stage one is we're just kicking it and trying to get to know each other. Stage two is what Angela talked about. Okay, now after 90 days, we still texting? We can't sit down and have a conversation about things? Again, we're not married and you're not in a relationship, but we are now investing time in knowing. We are now, I don't know whether it was you, Tasha, or Angela saying in stage two, this is the time I study. You get to know someone, you study. I tell people in stage two, you should begin to know what your partner does with the word no.
Yes.
What happens when you have to say no about some things? What happens when you disagree philosophically about some things?
Right.
The person's integrity.
Correct.
Are they consistent? Are they telling the truth all the time?
Yes.
Do they have the resources to provide security for you? Are they in their own journey as well to grow? Or are they stuck and you're growing and then you're going to head up in a situation where you're stuck as well?
We're still not in a relationship yet.
Not in a relationship yet.
We are only studying. We are now investing time, and you're learning, he must. Now you can really determine if he likes you. We're past the 3-month stage, and he's spending time. He's making effort. He's including
There's
you.
an investment.
Yes.
Correct.
Perfect
Time
word.
and money.
Perfect word.
Time and
Tells
money.
you
Yes.
if you are important.
Correct.
So you ought to be paying attention to that.
Right. That's stage 2. Still not in a relationship, ladies.
Not at all.
I want to remind you, because people get it twisted. Very often people are in stage 2 and people decide after their study, I like this human being enough to keep them in my life until something better comes along. Therefore, you are unfortunately in a situationship. That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
You're going to be perpetually stage 2. No one's ever going to talk about moving you to stage 3. If what they've learned is, I don't want to be in a relationship. Where things get twisted is sometimes people aren't honest with that. They'll have you in stage 2 and they won't say to you, you're never going to be stage 3. You're not stage 3 material. Or you would,
and that's why observations are important.
But it's because they're sleeping with you and they want to keep sleeping with you. So we need to slow down on the sleeping.
Oftentimes, or you're behaving like a wife. They're sleeping with you. You're doing laundry. You're darning socks. You're cooking meals. You done moved in.
You're a wife and a girlfriend. You're not even a friend.
Right. And you are not, you have no title.
None. You're not even a friend.
No. Stage 3 is terms of negotiation. Again, nobody has said anything about a title or relationship.
No one.
We are just in stage 3. That means I have studied you enough in stage 2. I have invested time and money and effort in you in stage 2. And I am now considering that you might be the partner for me. We are talking about partnerships.
Yes.
We have said the word. Oftentimes people are stuck in stage 2, but as soon as they say that word, give me a title, boy, they get dumped quick and fast. Because that person had no intentions of you going to stage 3.
Ever.
Cut your losses. In stage 3, it's the terms of negotiation. We're starting to talk about what would it look like to be in a relationship with you? Like, what's your expectations really of
What
me?
are your standards?
Now you start talking expectation and you lay that out. What's non-negotiable, right? What's the 2 or 3 non-negotiables Angela talks about in healthy relationship development? That's only stage 3. Still, you got no title.
Not at all.
Stage 4.
Relax.
Yes. Take a breath.
Take a breath. Enjoy yourself. Stage 4. Now you get your title. You get your title.
Stage 4.
Stage 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3.
We're at stage 4.
And guess what? The hard work really begins.
Yes, because you still, the only title you got is girlfriend. Now you meeting the family. Now you seeing the friends.
You're going to business dinners.
Yeah, now people are introducing you as their girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, paramour. You got a title, yay, but you're still not a wife. Don't get that twisted either.
Thank
you.
You
can now behave as if you are a girlfriend, lover, paramour, but not a wife. You can't have the same expectations if you are legally, and they have said you're a wife.
Some differences in behavior.
Yes.
If you go to wife behaviors in this stage, again, you will stay most often. You will transition you, but most often, why do they need to marry you
if you're already a wife?
You're already a wife.
So you need to differentiate those behaviors.
Yeah. And unless someone gives you that title, be careful. Stage 4, you get a title. The title should be lover, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's some people out here in the world that will trick you into the false equations. And I've been in this situation before, and I've met other women in practice who I'm dating someone, all of a sudden, oh, this is wifey. I'm sorry. What does that word wifey mean?
I don't like that word.
I don't like that word.
I don't like that word.
That's a word that shouldn't be thrown around so quickly. Oh, this is wifey. I'm sorry. It was a song.
I don't like that word.
Right? I like the song, but I don't like the title on me because again, if I don't have a ring on my finger when you walk down the aisle, I am not your wifey.
I don't like the wifey word. It gives people the impression that you're going to behave as a wife.
You're going to marry me. We're not married. It gives me false expectations.
Exactly. Especially if your partner is not being called. There's no word called husbandy. Do you ever met a husbandy?
No, I never met a husbandy.
There is no husbandy.
No.
So then they have absolved themselves from the responsibility of being an equal partner in this marriage that's not a marriage. So I don't like that title wifey. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So if you have questions about what stage you're in or how you're dating or what's going on, that's where we here at Inner Peace can help you figure it out and make better, healthier choices for the long run.
And we can help you guys coach through it. Sometimes you just we're not telling you to come in for therapy. Yes, sometimes you may come in and realize, you know what, I have some underlining issues I need to work through. Yeah. But sometimes it's okay to come and say, I just need some coaching about how to adjust in my new life, how to adjust in this new culture, how to adjust to these new things that I'm not familiar with so that I don't break, so I don't become overwhelmed, I don't become anxious nor depressed. And we can help you with that.
So we thank you, and we will see you in about 2 weeks.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. Stay well.